Hi everyone, hope you're having a nice day. So today we'll be looking at what determines a FIFA football striker's market value. So the main objective is to predict a football striker's market value based on their performance traits like finishing, ball control, dribbling, their physical traits like strength and stamina, and also other stats like their age. So why does this matter? So this data would help scouts who are looking for new players to make smarter decisions. Also, it'll help clubs to identify undervalued talent and where clubs are purchasing other players. So it'll help to justify their investments. And also for managers who are responsible for player training, this data will give a slight edge over the competition. So this data set which you're using is from the SoFIFA data, sofifa.com, and it is up to date as of 4 months ago. There were no missing or null entries. And since we are focused only on the strikers or the attackers, we can see that we have approximately 3,750 players in our talent pool. Some interesting facts that for our attackers, the mean age was 25 years, the height was 175 centimeters, and the median age was 74.8 kilograms. So looking at some key variables. So we have picked four key variables: overall rating, potential, wage, and market value. So why I feel that these are very important is because the overall rating is an indicator of the current skill level of a player. The potential is an indicator of the future skill level of a player. And the wage is the club's perception of the player's value. And the market value or the overall value is the player's perceived worth in the international market. So first, let's identify what are the key physical traits which strongly influence the overall rating. So we can see that the key physical traits are shot power, stamina, and vision. Also, if we look at the football traits, which are the key influences for the overall rating, we can see that those are finishing, dribbling, composure, reactions, positioning, long shots, ball control, and volleys. Based on these, we can see that the most valuable traits and what are the traits which are in common in most attackers. So the most valuable traits, which are rare to find, are composure, long shot, reactions, vision, and volleys. So these are the key traits to look out for. And also, we can see that the overall rating is the key driver for market value, as I can see that as the overall rating increases, we can see that there's an exponential growth in the market values. And also another very important factor is the international reputation. So as you can see, as the median international reputation increases, as the international reputation increases, so does the median value in euros. And you can see as the international reputation increases, it is the number of players are very less. So it is very rare to find players with very good international reputation. And that is the reason that's also dictated by their average value as well. So based on this, these are some of the assumptions we can make. So the assumptions are that the overall rating is the most critical for market value. Age is another critical evaluator and potential as well. And for attackers, ball control is the most important trait. And for the physical traits, we can see that stamina, shot power, and vision determine how good of an attacker he is. Okay, so moving on to our first hypothesis test. Does age affect a player's market value? So we can see that in our graph that we have older players. So older players are players whose age is more than the median value, which is more than 25 years of old. And young players are players whose age is below the median age of 25 years old. And we can see that there is a significant difference in the market value between these two age groups, so that we can tell that age does affect the market value. Similarly, for potential, we have a violin graph. So we have a violin plot, and we can see that there is a significant difference between high potential players and low potential players in their market value. So based on these hypothesis tests, we can conclude that age does affect the market value, and also potential also significantly affects the market value. So, so we created this regression model. So we take the value in euros, the age, to determine the total potential of the players. And as we can see, for potential, we can see that as the potential increases by 1 unit, it results in a 0.87% increase in the market value. It is small, but it's still a significant influencer in the market value of a player. And we can see that overall rating is the strongest driver for market value. So every 1 unit increase in the overall rating results in a 23.13% increase in the market value of a player. And next, we can see that age is also a very big factor when it comes to the value of a player. So we can see that the peak age of a football player is 28.8 or 29 years old. And what happens is at the starting of their career, every year their age increases results in a steep, like 21% increase in their market value. And that is up till 25 years of age, where it starts slowing down and then it peaks at 29 years of age. And after that, there's a steady decline of 1% till about 32 years. And after that, after 30 years, there's a 6.5% decrease as their age increases. So we can see that based on this, we have our model, and these black bands represent the confidence intervals. And we can see up to 50 million euros. We can see that the our predicted value from the model as well as the actual market value is pretty close. But after 50 million, we can see that there is a deviation, like a negative deviation. So the market value is supposed to be higher, but the predicted value is supposed to be higher, but the actual value is goes down. So that we can tell that after 100 million, there are other factors which also influence the overall value of a player. So this can be their injury history. This can be the marketability. Some players are more marketable than the others, and other things can be like brand sponsorships from other football companies. Yeah. But we could see that when we see the distribution of attackers in our population, we can see that there are less than 1% of the attackers with a value greater than $50 million, and 99.3% of a population falls within that 50 million bracket. So we can tell that our model is accurate for predicting the market value of approximately 99.3% of the talent. And we have R square value of 0.9837. So that 98.37% of the variance, right, that can be explained by a model. So based on all this, so these are the insights that we could uncover from our model. So for the player scouts, mainly for the player scouts, they need to prioritize young players because they get the biggest boost in the overall rating based on their age. And also, they need to focus, if they're looking specifically for attackers, they need to focus on players with these attributes because they strongly influence the overall rating as an attacker. One is ball control, their finishing skills, their positioning, and their shot power. And also, they need to look for players with a potential more than 75, as this significantly impacts the market value. And it is also a strong indicator of the future performance. Next is for the club finance teams. So this is mainly to calculate the value of a player. So if they have a current incoming player, to calculate the value. So overall rating is the strongest driver. So 23% increase per point, and then potential adds 0.87% value per point. And while using that age, they can calculate it positively till the age of about 28, and then they can calculate it as a decline. And also for club managers, if they want to come up with a development plan for their attackers, so they need to prioritize improving ball control, dribbling, and finishing skills. And they should also focus on improving the player positioning and their shot power. So that's all. Uh, Thank you.